It's like digging a grave with a spoon.
No. The elderly that we thought they were witches, it was because of the
Justice for Health Minister. 2035.
So,
would you like to go back home to go and work? I said, pardon?
Give it a thought, sleep over it.
I've thought about it.
Previously.
Stop converting. It wouldn't be like, oh, I have so much money left with me.
No, but even if it's 400,
No,
it's still so much money. Even if it's
still too much money on you.
Are you trying to say converting it into Ghana cities makes someone living in Ghana better than we are?
No, you think you have lots of money, but you don't.
But you do? No, but even with the 400 here, even if you are spending, it's still a lot of money here.
It's still a lot of
It's still a lot of money here.
It's still a lot of
Enjoy
money.
your money.
It's still a lot of money.
Stop converting and enjoy your money. That's it. But if you convert the money all the time, you think, oh, I have lots of money. But if you want to shop for something,
Danny, even if you don't convert it, you are still fine with 400.
oh yeah, you're.
I only cut my hair, and then I was insulted by the next man just because I cut my hair. Like
so your hair should be long, such that
In
you
Ghana,
can
I think in
Cap
Ghana,
on
it's acceptable for the
charges.
either in charge, like if you are a student or you are a lower, it's
junior
not
staff,
acceptable for
yeah.
you.
I think they should learn. They should try to be acceptable. In
Some of
Ghana,
the things are so unnecessary. Like I think they focus more on the necessary things more than
your
the
uniform is above your knees.
yes, and as a nurse, you can run
And since we're having this conversation, that reminds me, how many of us are willing to go back home and help change the system?
me. No way. No, there was
I'll
one
come
lady
and help.
Who I think she's from Jamaica, one of those countries, but she's not worked there before. So she trained and worked there, and she doesn't work in my ward, but she came to do a bank shift and then and it's very busy. And then she said, "Oh, it's so busy here." So and then she called me, "So would you like to go back home to go and work?" I said, "Pardon?" And then he said, "Oh, I think I would like to." I said, "Have you worked back home before coming to work here?" She said, "No." I said, "You go and come back all the way to me."
No, I think if the money was the same,
So then
home is home. I
No,
would have.
if
the money was the same.
I don't think I can. I'm not. I don't know. Sometimes I just sit there and I ask myself, like when I'm doing something now, I ask myself, will I be able to do the same thing if I go back and like taking patient blood or even cannulating? I'm like, how were we doing it in Ghana? It's not deliberate, but I think I've forgotten. Yes.
but
Like how we used to do it.
when I talk about going back home to help change the system, I'm not only talking about going to the wards to work again. You know, these things,
even being in managerial positions. Okay.
being in the health sector,
Okay. Or even health ministry. Okay.
or even coming together and then forming
Something.
an organization that can challenge the health system.
It will be difficult.
It will be very, very difficult.
Nothing comes easy to be
Because
honest.
all these things we are talking about, it has to do with money. It has to do with money. And then that's if you get support from the government.
It will be difficult.
And it's going to be very
Because
difficult.
I remember there was one of the teaching hospitals, there was this nurse, she was those who wear the purple belt.
The DDNS.
DDNS for that ward. And I think she had trained and worked outside. I don't know whether it was UK or US. So she was trying to incorporate what she's learned over, and it was even we as the students when we go, she says, "Oh, you have to do."
So let me ask you, why do you think it was so difficult for her to do that?
It's just
because
we are used to our system.
and where she finds herself.
And change is not easy for anyone.
Yeah.
Although old habits die hard, they die hard.
Yeah.
But then imagine if we had 20 of this lady you are talking about in Ghana trying to change things. It will make a change, but
it will take a long time, and then we still need money. If she tries and then there's no money,
we do need money. But then let's look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
We get to the self. We get to the self-actualization needs. When you get there, what would you want to look back and reflect on? I would want to know I did something to change something.
Okay.
So me personally, I tell Danny every day, I say one day I'll go back. If not work in the world, at least even being.
He needs a clap. He needs a clap. He needs a clap. He needs a clap.
Being Parliament.
Uh-huh.
Let the things we are talking here,
Uh-huh.
which needs to be changed. Let's push for it.
Okay.
And then make sure those who are coming do not go through what we went through. Because I think even in this country, we are enjoying what they have.
Yes.
It did not start like this.
That's true.
Because
It did not start like this.
it did not start like this.
Sorry to cut you short. You go in. The people surround you will just, suck you in.
That's PhD
That's-
that's not
So that,
PhD holders there.
listen, I know all these things happen, but then that's why I said
It's very. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it looks like it's impossible.
it is impossible. Let's form an organization.
It's like digging a grave with a spoon.
No, listen. Let's form an organization. Let's have about 20 nurses.
Uh-huh.
Let's target Kolego, or let's target Legon Medical Center. Let's pressure the government into putting
How
these
are we
people
going
in.
to leave our jobs to go and do that? Will we be paid here?
That's why I brought in the Maslow's needs.
Okay.
When you get there, you think you've achieved all you want to do. Now you want to look back and reflect on what you did. See
How many years
how
will it
good
take
you.
us to do that though?
No, but it's going to
20
take.
years,
It's going
15
to
years,
take.
25 years. Let's just have that thought that we want to change the system there.
I'm
Because
still thinking.
it's been raining the whole day. I'm not saying it doesn't rain in Ghana, but imagine if you were working in Ghana under those conditions, and if the salaries were relatively higher, we would live better lives than
That's
we are living
true.
in this country.
That's true.
So if we don't change them, all our people will continue coming in here. I'm not saying it's wrong
the
coming in here.
Attitude of.
It's highly
So
impossible.
what do you want to do
Unless
to change it?
It's an attitude.
It's highly impossible.
You
unless the big people who are in
don't start
nursing now in Ghana, we bring them here. They should come and
Do you
just
know
do 1
something?
week shift.
I have a different.
Do you think that will change
It
it?
has to
Let
come
me
from
tell you
them.
something. I have a
It's
different
highly
opinion to
impossible.
that. I think we should start from the basic. We should
What-
start.
So who starts from
No,
the
if you
basics
start from the
It's
basic,
top, they make the
when
rules
they
anyway.
get there and this what is being done.
Because
No.
to be fair,
Now listen.
what we were
you
taught in
change the
school, sometimes
generation
when you go
from,
to
you
the
know,
wall,
Now
you know,
listen. Who is going to teach that younger generation? Is it the same people there?
So we start now, and then
Who is starting it now there? Who is doing it? Is it us or those there?
Some of them have
Some of them
schooled here
needs
before.
help.
They know.
They know.
Yeah.
They know.
and
Good.
even some of our lectures are now nurses
Yeah.
in the UK.
Yeah.
I had
So it tells you that it's highly impossible.
I had this psychology teacher who gave me one scenario.
Uh-huh.
He said, if you find a nun
Uh-huh.
amongst prostitutes,
Okay.
they will consider her bad.
Okay.
And if you find a prostitute, just a single prostitute among nuns, the nuns will see her as the bad one. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to mean.
Yeah.
If a nun in prostitutes,
Okay.
though society describes the nun to be the holy one,
The holy one.
and then the prostitutes the bad ones. Now the prostitutes will in turn make the nun the bad one,
Yeah.
and they the holy ones.
Yeah.
Same in the other way
Vice
around,
versa.
vice versa.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to mean is, if one person goes in there, the system will suck them in. But if you have a collective effort,
The system
of-
is bigger than 20 people.
listen. When I say 20 people, let's say 20 people for one hospital.
Then I
It's
don't think this
still
is
work.
justice. I don't think this
Guys,
is possible.
It's too much.
Guys, get all
it's
the
not
money.
going to be easy.
And
It's not going to be easy, but then
Maybe when you become like
Aside what you're saying, I know
Minister
some nurses
of
who have
Health.
gone to Ghana to try and do these things.
And it's not working.
they went by themselves.
It wasn't one person. I think she.
Is
she
it
actually-
dental?
Yeah.
dental, yeah.
Yeah, she went with a group of nurses from Ghana, went to work in some of the hospitals so that they could learn.
We are a charity. What we do is we look for Africans and we look for the things that they need. We try and help both here in Ghana and in the UK. This last 2 weeks in Ghana, we've got nurses from the UK to come to hospitals in Ghana and to volunteer. They can help the Ghanaian community and also so that they can share and exchange knowledge between them.
I'm hoping to see how things work here in terms of the care that they provide and how that affects the community.
Well, this young man has got a laceration on his finger which is being stitched.
You don't notice how fortunate we are in the UK, and in Ghana they don't have the resources that we have.
We're here at Gar West. They'll be doing lots of different wards.
Today, being at Gar West, it's a very eye-opening experience. They're very, very resourceful here and the people are lovely.
But where did it end up to? It's just, I don't know,
But then,
highly impossible.
But then, you know, even when you're trying to drive a hammer into a wood, you don't just do it with one strike. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to drive a hammer into this wood,
You have to keep hammering.
you have to keep hammering until it gets there. So, to me, I don't know. Today, we might argue over this.
I understand your point that we have to.
It's a good thought, but then
Let-
the
let's-
reality of it back in our
even
country.
if, let me tell you, even if you go and
it
call
looks
the
too
president of
far-fetched.
Ghana and sitting down and say, oh, I think we have to do this, blah blah blah, he can't straight go to the hospitals and say let's do this. He will still have to go through there.
Stakeholder meetings.
Yes, and that's when they also
Bureaucracy.
say, yes, that's when they also say,
So
no,
long.
we don't think this will favor the country.
No, but I think let's say we can start from, let's say, the major hospitals. Let's say we say in Kolebu now, this is what's going to happen strictly Kolebu. I think if we start tackling.
But do you think, Nana, you know, the people at Kolebu, you know, the bosses, do you think they would just allow you to come in
Exactly.
and just...
No, I'm not saying me. I'm not saying
No,
me.
I
I'm
mean,
talking
we-
about.
for if a group of us,
I'm
or
not saying
from
me
an
or a group of
NGO,
us. I'm
and
just-
we go there, do
No,
you
no,
think
no,
they
no.
will
change things.
They will not
I'm
allow
not saying
us.
that. I'm
Just
talking
to-
about being in
just to
higher.
see.
I'm not
if
saying
we
that.
go together, we will not be able to do it.
No, I'm
In
talking
the-
about being in a higher place, like political.
place.
How will you
Yes,
get that?
political.
in politics.
No,
see,
I'm not saying.
good people
Uh-huh.
in politics,
Uh-huh.
but the people around them,
Yeah,
the civil
system
servants as well, they commit all like the all the big crimes, and then these big men also, they just hop up, they cover them up.
Just give it a thought, sleep over it.
I've thought about it.
Let me ask you, what makes you think I have this sense of going back to help
It's
people?
because we love our country. I love Ghana. I'm proud to be a Ghanaian.
So don't you think someone sparked that desire in me? Don't you think some?
Who did?
One of the doctors back in Ghana.
So what is he doing about it?
He's trying to do something. Although the system, it's
making it difficult for him to
do it. But then there are things he said, and then at the time back in Ghana, when I sat down and listened to what he said, it made a whole lot of sense.
It's a personal decision in him. If you want to go back, you can always go back.
And I will.
Oh.
Trust me. And years to come.
Whenever you are going, let me know if I'm ready. Maybe I'll try.
I will let you know. And then I know years to come, some of you will sit back and say, oh, he said
Oh, we
that.
can actually make it better. We can.
We can.
Because even the nursing here was not like that. Last time I went for training with the agency I was working with, and then they were saying that the lady who was doing the training, she's an older nurse. She's been working for a while. And then she was saying that at a point in the hospitals, they used to wash the bed sheets themselves in the bathtub.
Good.
The nurses used to do that. And with their hands. These are soiled things that now we have to put in a yellow bag and whatever.
Good.
They used to do that with their hands.
Good.
But obviously, as people kept, enhancing their knowledge and blah, 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 they realized that no. Contamination, infection, blah, blah, blah. So let's do it this way.
Good.
So even here, they've not always been perfect. So it can happen back home as well. But I'm just trying to say that we going as individuals to a particular clinic it won't happen. But if we find one of us being in higher places, gradually, we could implement some things, and then maybe to an extent it would help.
So then let's all target those higher places.
So Justice for Health Minister,
Justice for Health.
65.
20 soon. It's going to happen. Yeah.
20 soon.
20
Alright.
soon.
I don't have a problem with politicians, but sometimes the civil servants, they cause lots of harm. The attitudes. Oh, he thinks, oh, this is not my, my property. This is not my own job.
Yeah.
So it's for the government.
Exactly.
And you'll go to work late. You go and sit down, just make phone calls, just do unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
But over here, look at this place. You can't you go to work and they'll make sure you work.
for every penny.
Even if no one is looking at you, the system doesn't even allow you to linger around and say, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, you've seen everyone working, so you wouldn't feel bad to say, today I don't, you see that kind of thing. It's very good.
Progress report, they are monitoring constantly. You're being monitored and you're motivated as well.
Yeah.
Daniel, when we started, you talked about litigation. Did you hear a lot about litigation in Ghana?
Maybe if they start doing that in
That's
Ghana,
another thing that
they
they do, but
that's
it's still not as much.
Yeah,
That's my
it's still
point.
not as much.
No, that's my point. It takes one judge, one lawyer to try to enforce that law. If there are, I don't know if there were, but if there...
There's some nurses face litigation power.
You
It
know-
doesn't go anywhere.
Yes, and then punishments are not that strict. That's what I think. That's what I think.
So it only takes one person to try and enforce that law. Then things will start changing.
And then the thing is, you see here with the kind of registration system they have, anybody at all can just ask for your name, Susie, your surname.
Minta.
Susie Minta. Go to the NMC register and then just type and then find out if you are registered with the NMC to see whether you are in good standing with the NMC. In Ghana, there's nothing like that. Even if somebody, let's say, works in Kofanochi and then the person loses the pin, right, because the person did something bad. Some private clinic somewhere.
What I was going to say.
Some private clinic somewhere, it will still employ the person. The person will still make money. There's no way for the person to check that, oh, okay, this person has been struck off the register, so now the person cannot get a job. Yeah. The person will still work as a nurse somewhere.
So it's just the whole system.
The whole system.
It's the whole system.
Yeah.
Because the one lady contacted me and said, oh, I want to come and work as a nurse here, blah, blah, blah. And so I was asking her what she's doing now. And, and she said, oh, I'm working in a private hospital. And I said, okay, you need to pass your IELTS, da, da, da. And she said, but I don't have my certificate. And I said, and how are you working? So apparently she has not passed her license, but she's working as a nurse. So I told her point like that. They are, and I said, do they pay? She said no. And I said, because they know you failed your exam, they are using you. Because even if they don't pay, you can't go and report to anyone because you don't have a pin.
The thing I want to say is, in Ghana, you discharge a patient and then the patient gives you a handshake and then there's money in the hand. There's money in the hand, and then sometimes even the nurses have to share. Morning shifts, one in the even if I see this. Here, it is not allowed. You cannot take money from any patient. You can't even have like a personal relationship with any of the patients you've taken care of.
It affects, the service you deliver.
Yeah, because here, even the thank you that they will say means a lot to you. Like, they're just sending a card to say thank you. Because the 60 hours hospital that I was working it was that bad that like when patients come in and like the nurses see that they are rich and everyone is rushing, they want to know when that patient is going to be discharged. Like,
it's true. And then even if we might not admit, if there are two patients there and this person's relatives always gives you money and then this one does not give you money, you are likely to be taking care of that person, even if you do not admit, like just so that the relative will come and say that, oh, you've done well. So
here everyone is treated
the same, and it's
equally. Okay. I love the fact that the NHS or the health system cares so much about the elderly. I mean, they care about everyone, but they really, really care for the elderly people, because over here, I think their family system is such that most of the elderly people, they live on their own. So maybe they have a carer coming in or carer living in with them. So most of the time they are on their own. So even in our accidents and emergency, even though it's accident and emergency, an ambulance will still pull up with an elderly patient. And the reason for coming in is she's not coping at home. And they'll still take the person in, even though she's there because of food or social reasons. Still find food for the patient, try and talk to the patient's family if they can move the patient to live with them, if they can take the patient to a care home. So they really, really have enough support for the elderly, which is really nice. Ghana, I realized that in Ghana, most of the elderly that we thought they were witches, it was because of dementia.
Dementia and Ghana, and in charge can sit on your progress. In charge will tell you because you've been stubborn, you've not been doing this and that. When it's time for promotion, they'll say that even though you go for the interview, they'll still say you're not going to get it because we think you're not doing so well as a nurse. But here it's advertised. You go for interview, you pass, you get it. It doesn't matter if it's not even the same hospital.
I think they can also have a say in your progress, but you need to be smart about it. Back home, you cannot quit your job and then just find a job readily.
Yeah, but
over here,
the jobs are advertised.
Yes, you can just quit your job.
Do an interview somewhere. Pick a better
if your manager
position.
Doesn't like you,
can always leave.
You stuck with them.
Ghana, you're stuck.
Ghana, you stuck with them.
If you leave the hospital,
you are not going anywhere.
You have to. I don't think you can even join another batch for another posting or.
No, that's gonna be a tough thing to do. But with over here, you can just quit your job today, get a job next week or tomorrow, and then you start
The
right away.
opportunity is there. There's so much opportunities, for nurses
And
here.
over here, they support like the staff well-being. Like I said, I didn't work in the government, so I don't know in Ghana, but I'm just saying here. So for here, in most of the NHS, so I don't know about the but they have occupational health, they have the staff well-being. So even if you are
even with this COVID
any
times,
condition, any chronic condition, they try to work around with you to say, oh, maybe you have this condition, you can't work. Let's say you have a problem with your spine, so you can't work in this ward. Let's move you to another ward. Like they try to make you feel comfortable. Yeah.
I have a message for the Ghanaian, nurse in charge and those people who are in authority.
I wish I could remember the names of some of them.
They should just, focus more on the job they do and the job the Ghanaians do, other than looking for people to, just stand up for them.
And honestly,
when they're coming around, they want you to stand up.
No one here.
And then
No in charge here. No one is said. You see someone in a blue belt, even common blue belt. If you're in a green uniform, you see someone in a blue belt and you don't stand up. That one can be something else.
The doctors. The doctors, they think, the medical superintendent, they come and they think, oh, you're supposed to stand up for them. That's disgusting.
Can you imagine?
But here, they have respect for everyone. Whether you are a porter or everyone is treated equally.
We are not in the military.
So dear Ghana nurses, those things are not necessary.
The military, please.
That's not what makes you a good
herself
nurse.
is from the UK, but the UK nurses don't
Especially
worship
the
their
DDS.
charges. Even the charges don't want that.
Do they wear belts?
No. Who want to? You are busy working. Who want you to stand up and say?
Yes.
Metro. Yeah, sorry. You can actually be punished for not wearing, for not getting up.
For not getting up. I've never seen it happen here.
Or for not wearing that.
That thing was so, like when I came here, that Ghanaian thing was so in me that when I'm even working and I see the metro coming, I'll stand up.
It's really nice over here.
Like,
no one is concerned about showing so much respect.
It puts a kind of fear in you, like when you see your metro, but here, when you see hi, and then she just makes you, hi Claire, hi, just go your way.
Over here, what I think is, what they want is just for the work to be done. And the work to be done perfectly.
Patient safety.
That's it.
Finish.
All other things,
You worship
just
the belt too much. You worship belts in
It's just too much. It's unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
They
Picking
care
on
about
uniforms.
things.
Picking on uniforms. It's too tight. It's too short. It's too long. Somebody can actually tell you your uniform is too long.
Yeah.
So
meanwhile, this
nurse in charge,
she's
please, you need
clueless.
to stop that, okay?
It's not necessary.
Meanwhile, she's clueless about what happens in the world. She's just in the office and then she's giving all this. Especially the one that she's still there.
So, please, if you're listening to us, you need to stop doing that.
And then stressing students and nurses and rotation nurses. Oh my. Especially when when you're doing when you're doing clinicals, maybe this week you're on this ward, they feel like you're going to another ward, so you have to go and see you have to go and see one of the DDNS to change you.
The preceptors and
And we normally do that on Mondays at 8 a.m. And this woman, that the students will be there before 8 a.m. She'll come at 10 o'clock. So from 8 to 10, you'll be standing on your feet.
Waiting
up and down. And if you are standing for 2 hours, we will be talking. And then when she comes and we are making noise, do you know you're making noise? What do you expect us to do? We've been standing for 2 hours.
I was wearing a small earring. The lady told me that my earring is not nursing appropriate. How has that got to do with the care?
It was. You have to wear that Cooper earring. Anything apart from that Cooper.
It's
all the time.
It's just so bad.
I was supposed to move my earring. Even though they were small. Cooper.
Say copper. So
no, say copper. They won't understand. We know it is copper.
Cooper.
But they
Cooper is
prefer
a name.
copper.
It's a name for somebody here. It's like
No, the right word is copper.
COPER.
But then Ghanaians know it as Cooper. That Cooper earring. If you wear anything apart from that one, they're trying to remove it. I see that's going to affect your nursing role.
What I want to say is that it's not like the training in Ghana is different from here. I didn't train here. I trained in Ghana, and I'll say it's one of the best. I went to Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The training is always good. It's the same or it's the best or whatever, but it's just coming to the working field, the working environment, the working conditions, the equipment. I think that's what really makes it different, and how they manage the staff. It's different from Ghana, but for the training, I always say it's the same.
Okay.
So if you get the opportunity to come, please come, learn, make money. If you want to go back to help, you can always go back to help.
With justice. This is your final words.
My final words will be to all nurses from Ghana or all over Africa who are working outside Africa. I would say, if you feel you've had enough experience, you've made enough money, you think you're comfortable, go back home.
Is there something like enough money?
Yeah,
It's fucking
Yeah.
you see, can I post on for that kind of brain?
Like I said,
That's the second.
go back home and then help make the system better.
I mean, home is always home. But
Home is always home.
I mean,
Let's make the system better, because if it's better there, we can always live better lives than in someone else's country. We can always come and travel around, see how different parts of the world looks like. But it's better we stay in our country and make our country better.
When we finish, we'll sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
You need to have a realistic expectation of, working in UK. Most people, have their hopes so high. They come in and then the stress is coming, and then they're like, oh, I want to go back. I've seen lots of people go back home.
Really?
Yes, some
that's
people
why
have
the
gone
work
back
is
home.
too much.
Ah.
Yeah, some people have, they've just gone back home because the stress is so much. They are working back home in a relaxed environment. They are not pushed to the limits. Over here, you come and you're pushed to the limits. Even before you write your exams or before you pass your OSCE, the stress you go through, everything, the stress is real. But please, if you want to come, just come at least. I think everyone should have an experience of working in an environment where you have everything readily available to you. You have a nice feeling. So if you want to come, just come. But just be careful as well, because the struggle is real. The struggle is real.
So yeah, they've said it all. So just do your best. The training we have in Ghana is one of the best. All the time when I speak with people, they are like, I'm surprised that you're a mental health nurse, but you have knowledge on this, on that, so many diverse things.
Yeah.
And I tell them it's because back home in Ghana, even if you specialize in a field, you still, outsource the other areas of nursing. So you can work in any field. So you do your best, do your training, but just be careful you also don't get taken advantage of. There are a lot of agencies now there who are taking money from people that they are going to help them come to the UK. All the good agencies here don't take anything. They help you free of charge.
It's free and it's
because
actually against the law.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they are going to take money from whoever you be employed,
To work for.
So they are not supposed to
Charge
take
you.
anything. The law doesn't allow them to take a penny from you. Not one Ghana cedi, not £1. If anyone tells you pay this amount of money, they are going to help you, come to the UK. It's not true.
It's not true.
Everything involved in the movement in the UK is on the internet. It doesn't involve money. Look for good agencies. You can check Nanelle's site. She's
In other words, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and check some of the agencies she's mentioned. They are very good. And just don't give money to anyone. I know it's not easy to come here because you need to really put work into passing your IELTS and CBT. And as for the government bonded nurses, you also need money to pay off your bond, which you could, it's not going to be easy, but with just some patience and time, you could do it. So just take your time. Don't be in a rush to come. And as Daniel said, be realistic in your expectation. If not, you'll be very, very disappointed. Even though everybody paints this place to be like such a
Heaven.
Yeah, but just be realistic.
I would also like to reach out to all the doctors who trained here that if you feel you need a change, go back home.
Go back home.
Listen, am I allowed to talk about another YouTuber on your page?
Don't worry, you can't.
Okay. I watched the CEO of Nyaho Clinic.
Okay.
He's the son of the old Dr. Nyaho.
Okay.
And this guy trained here.
Okay.
And he's gone back home.
Okay.
To practice in Ghana.
Is he making as much money?
Yeah, Nyaho Clinic is making
He's working in his father's hospital.
In his father's hospital. I wouldn't want to even talk about the money, but there was a statement he made.
Okay.
He said he was working here and he felt in a system But when he came to Ghana, he's realized the system is now developing, and he can be part of those who are building that system. So instead of sitting here and then being stuck in a system that was created by people, you can actually go home and then help set a new system in Ghana, which you can be remembered.
I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you.
Thank you for that. So not just the nurses, the doctors as well.
Okay.
Let's all get enough experience, enough money, go back home and then practice.
I think they've said it all. So all I'll say is that thanks for watching, and I want to thank you all for making time for me and for the channel. When the money comes, I'll give you some. Except you, you make a lot of money. Okay, so kindly subscribe, kindly comment, whatever you think. If you're a Ghanaian nurse and then you're practicing in the UK at the moment, and then there's something we forgot to mention, kindly write in the comment section. So thank you so much for stopping. Subscribe, comment, share, like. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Open up